It's coming up on a year since the release of Solo, a Star Wars story, and the movie is always going to go down in history as being the lowest earning Star Wars film ever. I really do think so. I think even after episode 9 comes out, is clearly going to rock $2 billion. And whatever else that come out after that is going to gross more than Solo. It's always going to be looked at as a situation where one could call it potentially a failure. I don't believe it was ever really a failure. I don't think it ever really got the chance to succeed, if I'm being honest with you. I think the fact that it was bogged down by The Last Jedi, the complete disaster that film was for the fan community, the fact that it opened up on Memorial Day weekend, which has been traditionally a low earning weekend, the fact that it opened up the week after Deadpool 2, which clearly cut into its earnings, and a lot of just people not really giving much of a crap about it as well, I think ultimately hurt the film. But it has been able to develop a bit of a fan base on home video, which then does beg the question, will we ever get to see a sequel? Well, right now the answer to that is probably not, but at least some of the talent is fighting for it. Come over here to Instagram, Junas Sautomo, and I'm probably mispronouncing that, I'm sorry to say. He says here, he posted this picture a day ago with him outside of his mask talking with Alden Ehrenreich, saying, "It's rare to see photos of myself without the mask. Here you can see me and Alden in Fuerteventura chatting while the crew is prepping the next shot. The image is from Rob Bredo's new book on making Solo, and it gives us a look through the process for creating Solo, a Star Wars story. We set out to make a good film, and I'm very proud of the finished film. If you'd like to see a sequel for Solo, hit like, basically." And a lot of people out there have hit like, 13,000 people. I mean, it's not as many as it could be, but it's still 13,000 people, and that's something. But when you take a look at the box office totals for it, and you look at the numbers, it does look like things aren't looking too good for a sequel. Showing us here that from Box Office Mojo, it had a total domestic haul of 213 million, but a rumored production budget of 275 million, and a worldwide take home of 390 $2 million. The rumor had it for a while that the movie needed to make approximately $400 million to break even. But even on that $275 million production budget, 400 million almost is not enough. But then the question becomes, what about the home video sales? We're looking over here at thenumbers.com. We can see here that the total domestic sales for at least the United States brought it to 54 million in regards to the home video market, with Blu-rays doing exceptionally well at 40 million and the DVD sales doing well at 14 million. So it does give it a bit more of a win in regards to that. But what we now know is, or what we don't know, I should say, is the fact that Disney and a lot of these companies do not actually release the digital sales numbers. They don't tell us how many people bought the movie digitally. So we don't know how much the movie has potentially made from that particular market. Right now it's on Netflix. We don't know how much Netflix spent for the rights to the film. It will soon be on Disney Plus as part of what could be considered a very limited content number. We're only seeing a few. I think they said now that Netflix is going to only have Disney Plus will only have 20% of what Netflix has in regards to full content at the beginning, but that's still not a small amount. Solo will be there. So the question then becomes, where would we, if at all, see Solo 2? Well, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on that one. And I really think that if we see Solo 2, it will be on Disney Plus. I think they will do a bit to cut the budget. I think they will probably chop it down to maybe 125 million. I believe its original budget was around 150 million. And then, of course, with the reshoots, it packed on oh my God, ballooned the budget, not including the marketing costs and everything else. And we're going to have to wait and see if Disney and Lucasfilm will come together for this particular sequel in order to give us something extra on Disney Plus. If you look at the way Solo was composed, Solo was set up for a trilogy of films, right? It was set up for a trilogy of films. Obviously, this was a story about how he got the Millennium Falcon, how he got his blaster, and how he met Chewie. We don't know where he got his vest. That would be coming, obviously. We don't know anything about becoming the greatest smuggler in the galaxy, and we don't know about any of those other things yet involving Jabba, or how he got to know Boba Fett, and how Boba Fett was able to track him pretty easily in The Empire Strikes Back. And look, I'm telling you on that one, I think that would have ultimately been a plot point for the Boba Fett movie or Solo 2 or whatever, because I do feel that they probably would have tried bringing them together in that particular world. And again, I want to see a sequel. I'm hoping that's that Celebration 2020, which by the way I was wrong about. I thought it was going to be 2021. After I recorded my video by like 20 minutes, they announced that it was going to be 2020 in Anaheim, and I think Disney Plus is going to be a large part of what they show us at Celebration next year in Anaheim. So it's going to be whatever trilogies are coming out with the guys from Game of Thrones, as well as Ryan Johnson and his trilogy of films, if that's still going to be a thing. But Disney Plus, because of The Mandalorian, because of the Clone Wars, I think that's going to be, and also Cassian Andor should be out by then as well. I think what we're going to be seeing is a lot of push in that direction to rebuild the fan base from the streaming service perspective, to give us these more grounded stories. And I think they could do that with Solo. I mean, imagine if they said Solo 2 is really just Solo, the TV series. What if they do that? What if they give us that story where it's set on Tatooine, and he's working with Jabba, and that's going to be the whole series, and Emilia Clarke is now open because of Game of Thrones being over? There's a lot that can happen with Solo too, but I do think potentially we will maybe not get a sequel to the film per se, but we will definitely get more with these characters as time goes on. I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is ready to let them go, and I as a fan am also not ready to let them go. But I'm curious for your thoughts and your opinions. Do you want to see a Solo 2? Would you care? Would you watch it on Disney Plus? Or are you just want to be done with this entirely and move on to something else Star Wars related? Let me know your thoughts, your opinions. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.